Hello, third, fourth, and fifth graders. This is Mrs. Chernitza with your next library lesson before winter break. And we are going to talk and learn about another reading strategy called summarizing. And our last lesson was on conflict and resolution. And this lesson, I wanted to include another reading strategy, which you all may have already started talking about in class, or maybe not yet, but that's fine. So let's talk about summarizing. Okay, so your learning intention is that I can use strategies to help my reading comprehension. And success criteria is that I can complete activities that demonstrate understanding of select reading strategies, which means we're going to do an activity where you will be able to show that you understand about summarizing a story. Okay, so let's continue with the essential question. How do readers better understand what they read? And I know that we've talked about this before, but it's always good to review. So, good readers better understand what they read by choosing books that are just right. And I know Miss T talks about this a lot, but it's so important because I want to make sure that you enjoy reading. And if it's not a just right book, you're not going to want to read. And that's my goal. Is I really want you guys to become lifelong readers and love to read. Make and confirm predictions. This also makes it interesting and enjoyable to read. If you make a prediction about what you think is going to happen, and you can see whether your prediction was correct or not. Finding words you don't know and figuring out what they mean. This is cool too. This is a way for you to learn new vocabulary. Making connections, which we've talked about, which is, if you remember, text to self, text to text, and text to world. And remember that when you read, if it reminds you of something about yourself, or it reminds you about somebody in your world, like your family, or some place in your world, or another story, which is text to text. And reading aloud fluently is very important. If you're able to do that, then that will help you better understand what you're reading also. Okay, so we are going to listen to a video about summarizing. It's based on the story Mulan, and you are going to learn how to look at a story after reading it and be able to fill out a graphic organizer. Fill in the pieces to summarizing a story. Okay, so let's get started. And then after this, we're going to listen to another story. We'll fill out our own graphic organizer. And then you're going to have a chance to go into Google Classroom and listen to another story and fill out a summarizing graphic organizer on your own just for the practice and see if you get it correct or not. Okay, let's get started.
Welcome. Today we are going to learn about summarizing. Summarizing is a strategy we can use to better understand a text, specifically fictional text, or a text that is imaginary or untrue. We can define the word summarize as using few words to describe the most important parts of a story.
Now, this is important because when you're summarizing a story, you are telling the most important parts of the story. You're not retelling the story word for word all over again. You're picking the most important things and retelling those parts.
We will use the following keywords to help us clearly write a summary. Somebody, who is the main character? Wanted, what did the main character want? But, what was the problem? So, how did the main character try to solve the problem? Then, what was the resolution of the story? We will first look at the movie Mulan. In this story, Mulan was afraid that her aging and sick father would be drafted into the Chinese military. Mulan wanted to ensure her father's safety, but he got drafted into the army. Mulan decided that she would intervene to save her father, so she cut her hair, stole her father's armor, and took his spot in the Chinese army. She cleverly impersonates a man and goes off to train with fellow recruits. Then, her true identity was revealed and she got kicked out of the army. She had to prove that she was a strong warrior and ended up saving the emperor. Let's use a graphic organizer to help organize our thoughts. We can go back and take a look at the passage to help clearly see each part of a summary. The first key word is somebody. I know that the main character of the story is Mulan, so I will now write down Mulan in the first box. This time, let's work together and use evidence from the text to decide what she wanted. After looking back at the text, we can see that Mulan wanted to ensure her father's safety. Now it's your turn. Use the text to fill in the remaining keywords but, so, and then. Feel free to pause the video now to continue filling in your graphic organizer. Okay, let's look at the remaining keywords and remember our answers don't have to be worded exactly the same. All that matters is that our points are similar. First we have but, which asks the question, what was the problem? I used text from the story to write down that her father was drafted into the army. Next, let's look at so. I believe that the so would be that she cut her hair, stole her father's armor, and took his spot in the Chinese army. Lastly, we have then, or the resolution of the story. I can use text from the story to say that Mulan's true identity was revealed and she got kicked out of the army. She had to prove that she was a strong warrior and ended up saving the emperor. Great job, summarizers! We effectively used evidence from the text and used few words to describe the most important parts of a story. Remember, if you want to summarize a text, use somebody, wanted, but, so, and then to help you figure it out. Until next time, summarizers!
Okay, good job, guys. So that was a really good example of showing you how to summarize a story. The graphic organizer helps out tremendously. So when you're listening to the story, you're going to listen for the somebody, the wanted, what did they want? But what was the problem? So what did they do? Then how did they resolve the problem? And we were able to see that example with the story Mulan. Now we are going to listen to our own story called The Good Egg. And some of you may have already heard this. And then we are going to...
Hello, and welcome to the Joy...
Sorry, guys. And then we are going to fill out our own organizer for the story The Good Egg. And then after that, you guys will have a chance to listen to the Bad Seed story and fill out an organizer on your own in Google Classroom just to get the practice and to see how much you've learned about summarizing. Okay. And this is what we're going to fill out when we are done with the story. So let's listen to The Good Egg by Joy John.
Hello, and welcome to the Joyful Bookshelf, where books are fun. Subscribe for new books read aloud every week. The Good Egg by Jory John and Pete Oswald. Oh, hello. I was just rescuing this cat. Know why? Because I'm a good egg. A very good egg. It's true. I do all kinds of good things like I'll carry your groceries, I'll water your plants, I'll change your tires, I'll paint your house. If you need any help whatsoever, I'm your egg. I've always been a good egg. It's been this way from the start, even in my earliest days, back at the store. There were a dozen of us living together under one recycled roof. There was Meg, and Peg, and Greg, and Clegg, and Shell, and Shelley, and Sheldon, and Shelby, and Egbert, and Frank, and other Frank. The other 11 eggs weren't on their best behavior. They weren't exactly good. They ignored their bedtime. They only ate sugary cereal. They threw tantrums. They cried for no reason. They broke their stuff on purpose. Meanwhile, I tried to take charge. I tried to fix their bad behavior. I tried to keep the peace because I was a good egg. A very good egg. Nobody seemed to care, though. Every night, I was exhausted. My head felt scrambled. Then one fateful morning, I noticed some cracks in my shell. They were everywhere. My doctor said it was from all the pressure I was putting on myself, the pressure of making sure everybody was as good as me. I was cracking up, literally. Something had to change. I'd had enough. I told Meg and Peg and Greg and Clegg and Shell and Shelley and Sheldon and Shelby and Egbert and Frank and other Frank that I was leaving. I can't be the only good egg in a bad carton, I said. Blah, 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 they replied. I left that night. I wandered from town to town. The hours became days. The days became weeks. I lost track of time. I was alone. Out there, on the road, under the stars, I really tried to focus on myself and what I needed. I took walks. I read books. I floated in the river. I wrote in my journal. I found simple moments to be quiet. I breathed in. I breathed out. I even started painting. For once, I found time for me. And guess what? Little by little, the cracks in my shell started to heal. My head no longer felt scrambled. I started to feel like myself again. So I've made a big decision. I'm returning to my old carton and my friends. Besides, I'm kind of lonely out here. This time, I know what I need to do. I'll try not to worry so much. I'll be good to my fellow eggs while also being good to myself. Here we go. Everybody missed me. I missed them too. Hello, Meg. Howdy, Peg. Hey, Greg. Greetings, Clegg. What's up, Shell? Aloha, Shelly. Hey, yo, Sheldon. Hi, Shelby. Good day, Egbert. What's happening, Frank? Howdy do, other Frank. Sure, every once in a while somebody's still a little bit bad, but it's not like before. Here's what I realized. The other eggs aren't perfect, and I don't have to be either. I'm okay with that. Yep, the old carton is back together. We're a solid dozen again. It's good to be home. Thank you for watching the Joyful Bookshelf. If you like today's video...
Okay, guys, good job. Okay, now we are going to fill out a graphic organizer for summarizing, and we are going to do it on the story that we just listened to, The Good Egg. So, let's first do the somebody. So, who was the main character? Who was the story about? Let's think about it. It would be the good egg. Good job. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay. So what did the good egg want? He wanted the other eggs to be good also. Okay, so somebody was the good egg. What did the good egg want? He wanted the other eggs to be good. But what was the problem? The problem was that the bad eggs didn't want to be good. Remember, they made him all stressed out and he started getting cracks in his shell. So, what happened? Well, somebody's the good egg. He wanted the other eggs to be good, but the bad eggs didn't want to be good. So, the good egg left and tried to heal and get better. And then, so what happened? So we know the good egg, he wanted the other eggs to be good, but the bad eggs didn't want to be good. So the good egg left and tried to heal and get better. Then, and we know he did, he left and he got better. Then what happened? What was the solution? Well, the solution was the good egg went home and tried not to worry so much. And help take care of the other eggs. Okay. So we have somebody was the good egg. He wanted the other eggs to be good, but the bad eggs didn't want to be good. So the good egg had to leave and try to heal himself and get better. Then what happened after that? Remember, he did a lot of different things. But then finally, he decided he wanted to go home because he didn't want to be alone. And he tried not to worry so much. Because remember, it said that he wasn't going to try to be perfect and he didn't expect them to either. And that he would take care of the other eggs. Okay, guys, good job. So, what you guys are going to be able to do is listen to the bad seed. So, you are going to be able to listen to the bad seed, and then you are going to be able to fill out your own graphic organizer that I'm going to put in Google Classroom so that you can practice summarizing. So we will go ahead and listen to the bad seed, and then you will have a chance to go to your graphic organizer in the Google Classroom and fill it out for this story.
The Bad Seed, written by Jory John, illustrated by Pete Oswald. I'm a bad seed. A bad seed. Oh yeah, it's true. The other seeds, they look at me and they say, that seed is so bad. When they think I'm not listening, they mumble, there goes a bad seed. But I can hear them. I have good hearing for a seed. How bad am I? You really want to know? Well, I never put things back where they belong. I'm late to everything. I tell long jokes with no punchlines. I never wash my hands or my feet. I lie about pointless stuff. I cut in line every time. I stare at everybody. I glare at everybody. I finish everybody's sentences, and I never listen. And I do lots of other bad things too. Know why? Because I'm a bad seed. A bad seed. I just can't help it. Sure, I wasn't always this bad. I was born a humble seed on a simple sunflower in an unremarkable field. I had a big family, seeds everywhere. We found ways of having fun. We were close. But then the petals dropped and our flower drooped. It's kind of a blur. I remember a bag. Everything went dark. And then, a giant! I thought I was a goner. I thought I was done for. I screamed and I hollered, but I was spit out at the last possible second. I flew through the air and I landed under the bleachers with a huge thud. Then I woke up. It was dark outside. A wad of gum had softened my fall. I felt okay, but something had changed in me. I'd become a different seed entirely. I'd become a bad seed. A bad seed. That's right. I stopped smiling. I kept to myself. I drifted. I was friend to nobody and bad to everybody. I was lost on purpose. I lived inside a soda can. I didn't care, and it suited me. Until recently. I've made a big decision. I've decided I don't want to be a bad seed anymore. I'm ready to be happy. It's hard to be good when you're so used to being bad, but I'm trying. I'm taking it one day at a time. Sure, I still forget to listen, and I still show up late, and I still talk during movies, and I do all kinds of other bad stuff. But I also say thank you, and I say please, and I smile, and I hold doors open for people. Not always, but sometimes. And even though I still feel bad, sometimes, I also feel kind of good. It's sort of a mix. All I can do is keep trying and keep thinking, maybe I'm not such a bad seed after all. Hey, look! There goes that bad seed. Actually, he's not all that bad anymore. I heard that. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe.
Okay, guys, good job. So after you listen to this story, The Bad Seed, you can go into Google Classroom and there will be, each one of you will have a copy of the Fab 5 graphic organizer for summarizing. And I'll have it all set up where you can type your answer into each section of the graphic organizer. So if you would like to practice and try it on your own, I would love to see your work. So try to do that for Miss T and turn it in to me, and I will take a look at them. Okay, guys. Well, thank you for listening to this lesson about summarizing. This is the last lesson before winter break. So if I don't talk to you personally before winter break, have a wonderful winter break and a happy new year. And then Miss T will come out with a new lesson starting when we come back in the new year after the break. All right, guys. Take care of yourselves, listen to your teachers, your parents, get your work done, and enjoy your break. And let Miss T know if there's anything that I can do for you. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye bye.